This is the Karcher K2, the smallest and most affordable pressure washer from the K series range. But just because it's cheap, does it mean it's cheerful? Coming up, we're going to take a look at the specs of this machine and see how it compares to other models in the K series range. We're also going to take a look at some of the pros and some of the cons, and I attempt to connect the K2 up to a water tank. And at the end of the video, I conclude if this is the right machine for you. First of all, let's take a look at some of the specs of this miniature machine. The K2 weighs around 5 kilograms. It's got 110 bar pressure, 360 litre maximum flow rate, a 3 metre pressure hose, and it also comes with a dirt blaster nozzle. So let's now take a look at the average prices of the K series model in the UK, and for this video we are excluding the compact models. One of the first things that I've noticed about this machine is the fact it is so light, so it could be perfect for those of you who are just thinking about starting this up and you want to practice on a couple of your mates' cars, and it's just something you can easily chuck in the boot of your car and get going. And because it's a K series pressure washer, you will find that you can get loads of cheap parts, and you can also get very cheap snow foam lances as well. So it's fantastic for those of you who just want to practice and you don't really want to spend a great deal of money. As you can see in the footage, the K2 did a great job of removing the light dirt off the wheels, but after a few minutes it seemed very clear to me that this machine had many drawbacks. One of the biggest cons about this machine is the fact they give you such a tiny hose with it, and I know you can go and argue the fact that yes, you can go out and buy another one, which is fine because they're very cheap, but that's not the point. What Karcher have done is to compensate that they've given you a longer power cord. Now you may think, oh that's alright, that's not too bad, at least you can still get around the car. Now one of the problems you got with that is the fact we're using a very thick hose. Now this is an anti-kink one, but you still have to drag it around the car, and one of the biggest problems is the second you catch that hose on the tyre, it's going to go pop, you're going to get soaking wet. So I think anybody using this will be very frustrated, and especially if you've got little area to work around the car. If you're doing this as a weekend warrior point of view, you're on your driveway, it can be a bit of a struggle because you're trying to get around the car, you're getting knotted up with the power cord, the hose, and then you've got this skinny little hose which keeps curling up as well. So it's not looking great for the machine at the minute, but what's it like with the snow foam cannon? So this is the MJJC snow foam cannon version 2. Now this one, when it comes to value for money, is right up there. Now it's brilliant to have a combination of a decent foam cannon, a good pressure washer and a decent foam. The combination of all three will be perfect for you weekend warriors out there. If you're watching this and you're a valeter, one of the biggest questions you'll probably want to be asking me right now is, can you connect it up to a water tank? Well, I've just done that. I've got it all rigged up. We're all now ready to go. So let's see what happens. So it managed to work fine, but there are a few things I want to mention while I'm doing this right here. Firstly, I'm using a very short hose connecting the water tank to the pressure washer. And also I previously unplugged the hose without releasing the pressure. When I did release the pressure and reconnect it to the water tank, it did still take a little while to prime, so you're not going to get it to work straight away once you connect it. It does take a little while to prime up in the machine before you actually get the water blasting out of it, so just bear that in mind. So I've had a chance to use the machine and I do want to share my thoughts on it and give you a final score out of 10. So let's just run through some of the positives and some of the negatives. Now the first thing I want to talk about is the power, and it's not the most powerful thing in the world, let's be honest, but you're paying £110, so you can't really quibble over the power. It does a job. It's definitely not going to be practical for those of you who want to clean loads of cars in a day. If you want to try and tackle 2-3 cars in a day, absolutely no way, straight out. Like, it's just, it won't be good enough. But for those of you using it maybe once a month at home, yeah, I think it'd be plenty good enough, but make sure that you have got some good chemicals, because it's not all about the power of the pressure washer. The chemicals play their part as well. That's why I've mentioned a really good foam there. You do have to use the right products to get the right finish. It's not all about the pressure washer that you're going to be using. And the thing I love about this pressure washer is the price. It's going to cost you around £110 on average. Now, if that lasted just 2 years, and after that 2 years the machine died, and you use that machine once a month, that is going to cost you £4.60 per month to use the machine if you just use it once a month. So it is going to be very cost effective, and for that reason it does tick another box in my book. Now, I hate to be negative about this, but let's be very clear about something. If you use this for a business level, you are going to be using it on a commercial scale, doing loads of cars. Karcher are not stupid. If you break it in just under the 2 years before it expires, that warranty, they are not going to cover it. It is not covered for commercial use, and they do put that in their terms and conditions with every single Karcher that is sold. So do make sure you understand that if you do use it and you do break it, you can't go ringing them up saying it's not good enough, because it is not designed for commercial use. Now, this is a real deal breaker for me, and I've just got to get it off my chest. It is the hose length that comes with it. It is far too short. Now, I understand that they've made it light, they've given you a longer power cord, but at the end of the day, when you're dragging over something that is an electrical item, now this is something that happened to me, I still had to run a small extension lead. That extension lead connected to that plug was going underneath the car. The water was dripping on the lead. It could have blown me up. It could have even killed me. So it is such a dangerous thing. I don't think it is going to be good enough. Why can't Karcher just give you a longer hose with it? I know you can go out and buy one, but for goodness sake, the majority of people buying these machines want a cheap machine to clean their car. It is just not practical enough, Karcher. Just charge people a little bit more and give them a decent hose. What on earth can they do with such a tiny hose? It kinks up, it curls, you fall over, you're dragging the other hose connected to the machine. It just simply doesn't work for me. But then I feel so bad, because how can you moan about a machine that costs just £110? Oh, it's one of those things. Honestly, if that is the best you can do financially, then it will do the job. But you just got to bear in mind that there are going to be those times when you're using it and you're just like, oh, this is just really frustrating, and it does slow you down. If you're someone who wants to clean your car in a hurry, make sure that you've got a long enough hose, because I prefer my pressure washer just rooted in one place. My pressure washer is in my van, it's not going anywhere. We've got a really long hose, I can get around the cars, there's no dragging, and it does save me so much time. So for that reason, I'm going to give the Karcher a very fair 6.5 out of 10. Now, if you like Karcher videos, or you're thinking about upgrading to the K4 or the K5, I have also done videos on them. Or if you want to see a few more other Karcher videos, I've done one on the steam cleaner, and I've also done a few other little bits based on my commercial pressure washer as well. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications, and get ready, because the next video, I promise, is the Poundland one. I'll see you later. Bye bye.